What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Let's get right into today's clip that I found of Michael Knowles debating a woke college student who is pro-choice. Oh, no, I'm not even going to say pro-choice anymore. We're going to say pro-death, pro-murder, pro-killing of babies. She's over here having a nonsensical debate and argument with Michael Knowles, and he just absolutely destroys her with facts, logic, and it's just glorious to watch. So let's get right into the clip. I also grabbed some comments from the original video that I put at the end of this video that we're going to read together. Let's get into it.
You keep defining abortion as the murder of babies, which biological fact is you would say most abortions are done before they are actually babies. It's still just a fetus. So my
question...
Do you
know what the word fetus means?
It's just a cluster, a
That's
zygote developing
into
means. A baby eventually.
The word fetus, it's a Latin word, and it just means offspring. That's all it means. It just means the next generation of a being. So, but that's what a baby is also. I mean, that's what you would call your adult child someday once he's grown, hopefully, if he hasn't been murdered.
Can I ask my question?
Well, I'm just like to clarify this point. You would call your adult child your offspring too, but all of these terms that you might use, fetus, embryo, the one they love is zygote, which sounds like a Pokemon, but they use all these different terms, but it's all referring to the same being, and you were that being once. You, the person who's standing here right now.
Do any of us have a memory of being that being?
Oh,
boom, I'm gonna stop it right there. And this is the argument that they love to make, or that I love debunking every single time, because they use, consciousness as an excuse for abortion. They were like, well, is the baby conscious? Well, how do you know? Consciousness is almost synonymous to memory. If you don't remember, then by their logic, you weren't conscious. So I don't have a memory of what happened 3 years ago, let alone when I was 2 years old, 1 year old, or even in the womb. So if you don't have any of those memories, according to these people, then you were not a person, alive, a human being. You just, apparently you didn't have consciousness. And that is illogical. Illogical, because a person's memory does not equate their level of consciousness, or if they were conscious at one point.
Oh, and I don't have a memory of last Thursday, frankly. It's been a very busy week, but the lack of a memory doesn't mean that it's all right to murder me.
Right.
Well, anyways, my question is...
Let me just also point out the snobbiness of this chick. Like, you can see every single time she says something, makes a statement, and he's responding, you can tell she's not listening to understand, but she's just listening to wait until it's her turn to respond. And you can kind of see her brushing off almost every single thing that he says.
You stress murdering babies a lot, but when it comes to murdering babies, kids, and everything in everyday shootings that keep happening, you say nothing. So I ask, why is it okay to murder babies when it's regulating women but not regulating guns?
No, I say quite a lot about that, actually. I think the crime is a terrible problem, and I think it's just awful that liberals have funded and intentionally installed liberal DAs who won't prosecute violent criminals. This has led to an...
This is also a logical fallacy, her argument that she made, because she's saying that, well, she's basically equating the murder of people on, everyday shootings to the same as an abortion. Because she's saying, well, if you don't speak up about the murder that's happening in Chicago, for instance, then why do you speak up about abortion? You just right then and there equated both of them. Meaning both of them are equally wrong. If you're wanting me to speak on day-to-day shootings, for me to be able to speak on abortion, you're saying they're equally in one. They don't understand that. They really can't comprehend that.
An increase in violent crime, and it's awful. I totally oppose that. But it's not me and it's not my side that's funding that sort of thing. Now you say, why wouldn't I want to regulate guns? Guns are very regulated in the United States as it is, and I've yet to hear one gun control proposal that would stop any of these shooting incidents that people talk about. People focus on the sensationalized ones from the news, a school shooting or a movie theater shooting. No proposed gun control legislation of the last 30 years would have stopped any of those. And the majority of the shootings are gang-related, and they're handgun shootings. And so I'm all for cracking down on those gangs and throwing them all in the can, but it's usually the liberals telling me that we have to abolish the police and go soft on crime, and they were just failed by society, and so we can't put them in prison, and we have to abolish the prisons too. That's not me. I'm all for it. You want to get me a bill, you want to elect me to office and get a bill in front of me that will crack down on gang crime and these gangsters using handguns to kill kids, let's do it. I'd sign that in 2 seconds. But it's not up to me, unfortunately. It's up to the side that I suspect you would consider yourself to be on.
No, it's up to a side that you're often a part of. And even if it's not you specifically, it's your friends and the people you support that just continue to... it's just, you aren't considering both sides and how, saying one thing can just contradict the other thing.
How do you think I've done that?
By saying you're murdering babies, blah, 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 just over and over again, but just not mentioning
quote,
any of the babies being murdered every single day in shootings that haven't even made it to major news outlets because they're so common.
No, well, that wouldn't be a contradiction or a hypocrisy or anything. I'm focusing on one particular issue called abortion, but I actually mentioned in the speech tonight that specifically on the issue of black people being murdered, 10,000 black people are murdered every year with guns and knives and hammers and the like, but 242,000 black people at the very least are murdered through abortion. So that would seem to be a more pressing issue, but I brought it up. I'm all for trying to reduce the murder rate. Unfortunately, liberal DAs are not allowing us to do that. So you're more than welcome to convince your fellow liberals to stop funding these people and to start arresting criminals, but my side of the political aisle has been arguing to arrest and keep those criminals locked up for a very long time. And so there's very little we can do if the other side of the aisle won't work with us.
Yeah, there you have it. There you have it. I mean, every time these people come into these places, they just get obliterated. It's not even a fair competition anymore. And you can also tell that these people remain in an echo chamber because it's every single time somebody like Michael Knowles, Candace Owens, Matt Walsh bring up these arguments. It's like these people have never heard it before. That's what really blows my mind. See, on the conservative side, we see what the left says and wants and argues for. We know all their arguments, every single one of them for every single a debatable topic. But for some reason, the people on the left, they've never heard the other side of the argument until they are confronted by people like Michael Knowles and conservatives. And it's really, really, mind-blowing. And sorry, guys, if you can hear my son in the background. But yeah, so, and then also one thing I want to point out is that these people, once again, if you're not fighting every injustice that happens in society, then you can't be fighting for just one. If you're fighting for abortion, then you also have to be fighting for gun rights and immigration and in various other things. But and that's the ideology that they hold, because for them to be a leftist or a woke, you also have to align with all their other ideologies as far as pro-choice, open borders, transitioning kids, LGBTQ rights. If you don't 100% agree with everything that they say on their side, then once again, you're not woke enough. So you're not, you're going to get shunned. So that's why she made the argument, well, you don't say anything about Chicago. He doesn't have to. He's talking about abortion right now. And there's other activists that are talking about Chicago. Go question them about Chicago and these other shootings. But anyway, let's read some of these comments. First comment says, she is a prime example of the education system in America today, told what to think, not taught how to think. Yeah, they have zero critical thinking skills. Next comment says, she fails to realize that no one is justifying the murders by guns like she's justifying the murders by abortion. Exactly, 100%. We condemn all of that. We condemn every single type of killing. But they're the ones advocating for the killing of babies. It's really nonsensical. Next comment says, it's so sad seeing an entire generation of human beings so absolutely able to be manipulated and controlled. Yeah, and it goes right back around to them being just, remaining in their echo chamber. Next comment says, she's so damn smug. She still thinks she's right. You can see in her body language, she didn't listen to anything he said. She wants to remain in her delusional little world, thinking that she's one of the saviors, when in actuality, her side is responsible for more death by crime, war, and abortion every year. Facts, 100% facts. Every single thing that the left advocates for, the left fights for, the left is trying to do is literally a destruction to society and to civilization. They want to get rid of babies. They want to allow abortion. They want to transition kids and have sex change surgeries. They want to allow people just to come into this country without any notice or application or anything like that. Just come to the border. These people are a total destruction to society. They want to let criminals roam free. You know, they praise people like George Floyd and Jordan Neal, and then condemn people that are actually, you know, trying to make society a better place. It's really, these people are like completely opposite. They're opposite. And that's how I know they're, you know, I call them Democrats, because the devil is a lie. The devil is a master of confusion, just like these people are. And every single time I do a video, you know, I used to get gaslit because I'm thinking like, am I the crazy one? Am I not seeing this from the right perspective? But no, I'm not. My discernment level is pretty good in my opinion. But anyway, let's keep going. This comment says, you can tell by her unfortunate demeanor, she really thought she was going to drop some insight on this guy. Bad news is, I feel she still thinks she did. Yeah, it's really, really tragic. This comment says, my favorite part is when she didn't listen to his rebuttal at all, thanks to her complete arrogance in thinking she was undoubtedly right about everything. So instead, she just repeated the falsehood he just took down 2 seconds prior. And I think that's the last comment. Yeah, that's the last comment. So, I mean, there you have it, guys. Let me know what you think. I love watching these debates because you can just kind of get a feel for what these people truly think and believe, and sometimes it's very, very entertaining to watch them be in their delusion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below, like the video, and if this is your first time on the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button for more content. Hope to see you on the next one. Peace.